since I've been in charge of this, the worst game we played. Defensively, it was terrible. We started off slow, and our defensive game plan was just not executed, and that's a lack of discipline that we've got to fix, and it's been a discipline issue for a lot of part of this year. Part of it's youth, part of it's we got to get better, and that's a good team that we played, of course, but we're not that far. The scoreboard is not what I believe is how far away we are, but the truth is the reality, and that was the score, and so we've got to get better. We're going to learn to compete better and more consistently. And it's going to start on Monday again in practice. And we had a good week of practice. That's what's disappointing about it. We continue to compete and compete at a higher level in practice. And then the carryover to the game is not there. It's almost like sometimes some of our drills and stuff are just drills to get through rather than to carry over and build upon to get to where we want to be in the games, So there's going to be a different accountability level with some guys, and we have to in order to make the steps that we expect to make. So.
Questions?
Nigel Pruitt seemed to step up 15 points, 4 for 9 from the field. Talk about his play and what he brings to the team.
I told him after the game, it was a little bit longer in the locker room, that the game overshadowed 2 very good performances, and Nigel was definitely one of them. He played with the energy that we're looking for offensively, playing without the basketball. He's always in a movement, but he's moving with a purpose. Defensively, he was executing the game plan. I mean, we were, cutting on their ball screens, trying to keep certain guys on their weak hand, not helping up on ball screens on their drives to the paint because that gives up lobs to it, and you saw that. When we did what we were supposed to do, we were good, and he was one of the guys that was doing on both ends. And I don't know what his minutes were, but 18 minutes coming off the bench, and that's why his minutes continue to stay. Where you're trying to find some spots out of the other 2 guard positions, and then the other performance was Willie Kawasi. He continues to do what he was recruited to do.
What was the disconnect as far as regarding scheme? You said defensively didn't do a great job. They did have 40 points inside in the paint. What broke down as regards to scheme and the defense?
I think it's discipline. And that's what we were stressing. At timeouts, it's a focus level. I keep telling the guys, let us as coaches be wrong. Let us say, we thought he was going to do this, and he did. And instead of being on your own page, let's be on our page together with it. And there's, we're watching so much more film now and executing and things like that in practice. And like I said, we've had great practices. And now it's almost kind of like we lose our mind. And that, you keep going back to the youth thing of, and even some of our older guys are young guys in terms of the Division I situation. But when you play a team that's as talented as Gulf Coast in multiple positions, if you give them a step, and everybody else is expecting to do something else, now you're in trouble. And that's exactly what happened tonight. Chase Feeler is, an all-league player, a player of the year candidate in this league, and you allowed him to kind of get in a cruise position. We were playing behind, and we're just as long as them. And we were, wanted to be 3 quarters in front, extend them off the block, play our length, even to go to a full front to it. I mean, and we shouldn't have to do that. But it's a trust, and it's a discipline that we've got to continue to work on. So.
Was there a teaching moment the final 6 minutes? You had made some wholesale changes.
Yeah, I'm going to find guys that are going to play hard. I mean, it's there's nothing when your record is what it is for us. It's not you've earned it. I mean, you take a look at some of these players' accolades. I just told them your accolades don't mean anything. I mean, myself, the other coaches, and our manager could go and get beat by 20 at home to Gulf Coast. I need 5 guys that are going to compete for 40 minutes. And the thing that, again, it's frustrating to it is that you see flashes. It's like it's not there. It's there. It's a consistency. And it's also a maturity thing. We can't believe that they're better than what they are. We can't as coaches. I believe they're better than what they are. Our development individually is getting better. Collectively, it's in neutral. And that's the trust and the discipline level that we've got to do better with. And it's gonna, the only way I know how to do it is teach. get them on film, show it on film, continue to show it on film, bring them in as a team, bring them in individually, show them some more film, send them more film, and they've got to say, you know what? You know, I told them, I said, guys, I don't not love you, but I don't want you to come in and ask me what you got to do to play more. You know what you got to do to play more. I don't want you to come in and say, you know, I'm disappointed we're only, no, you know what we have to do this. So that's where we'll go from there.
Is that common?
Common for the players?
Players to come in and ask what do I have to do?
Well, I think anytime you're dealing with kids, you know, they're listening to the media, they're listening to the students, they listen to message boards, they listen to, and there's negativity anytime your record is what it is. I mean, that's of course what's going to happen. And they start, you know, oh, woe is me stuff, and it's a maturity thing of listen, you got to fight through. I mean, I've been on coaching staffs and teams where, you know, we fought through a brutal non-conference schedule to get into conference play, but it's a toughness thing, and it's a mentality thing. But we've always done it with juniors and seniors. Now we're trying to do it with freshmen and sophomores. And that's the maturity part that they've got to see. But you kind of sometimes, you know, got to give them tough love. I love you guys, but I'm going to hold you to different expectations. I don't want the woe is me. And we got to mature to that.
Does that mean you're considering changing starters?
Oh, I think you're always changing. You're always looking for changes. I'm not going to say wholesale changes now, but, you know, we told them last week with it. I think, you know, before kind of coming into this, you try to, you're still searching. So try to shorten up the rotations, give guys more long minutes to it. But I told them on Monday, I'm going to find out 9 from Monday's practice. And then Tuesday's going to come, and after Monday's practice, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to have all the coaches. I'm going to put my 9 on the board, and then the coaches are going to, hey, I want to discuss this guy, and collectively put it together. And then we're going to compete on Tuesday, and then we're going to compete on Wednesday, and the collective, as we go through, is going to determine the 9 that I'm going to play. Now, that doesn't mean 10, 11, 12, 13, as obviously tonight, aren't going to play, but we've got to foster a competitive environment in practice to foster that competitive environment in games, and that's what we've got to do. But the problem is, I told them, guys, the guys that aren't playing right now aren't beating the guys that are playing. I can't make those changes yet, but I'm going to foster a competitive environment to get that going. And the best players play. I mean, the best players have got to play. The most consistent players have got to play. And like I said before, the only way I know how to do it is teach and practice practice earns playing time in games. That's the only way I've always been. You know, as a player, as a coach, that's the only way I know. So.
Outside of Willie, starting 5 didn't do much scoring. Do you think that was a translation from the poor defense?
No, I mean, you know, I know Delbert Love's a much better shooter than 1 for 7 from the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just, you know, it's trying to find a consistent group. I mean, to this point, you know, we've been very good offensively. You know, Yannell Brown comes in off the bench again and does a great job of scoring the basketball in the first half and gets stymied again in the second half. I thought we tried to get to the paint a little too deep at times. But, you know, like I said, those have been the best scorers in practice. So you continue to try to give them some more rope because you've seen more of it. It's one of those days where, you know, Dell's not scoring the way he can and does. And, you know, and Orlando just was struggling to score as well. So, and he's been our leading scorer, so it's a tough thing.
Anything else?
Looking at your record and talking from a mental standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
do they know their full potential? Knowing that, you know, they know what their record is,
Mm-hmm.
they know what their ceiling is. I mean, how they are, you know, they are mentally.
I think sometimes you almost believe it too much because you kind of go on a cruise. But I don't think they believe it as much as I do at times. You know, I don't believe that because, you know, it's almost like too comfortable at times. But there's talent. I mean, there's talent. You see it in practice. It's just, I wish, and we started this week cutting practice and putting it to game and say, okay, this is the drill we did in practice. Now here it is in the game. Look at what we're doing here, and now look how we're translating. And I'm trying to show more positive plays on tape. You know, like yesterday, it was all positive plays. Look at what we did when we were down 10 and we made our run to tie it back. This is what you're capable of. You need to see what you're capable of. You know, trying to keep it uplifted, trying to keep it fun. But fun is also winning. You know, I mean, fun is also winning and having success. And that's you know, having fun and competing will translate, I believe, into having fun and winning. And that's what we've got to do.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.